So kindly grab your seats, we are about to begin. I request all of you to please be seated. Thank you. Only book in the fictional category all across the world which gives real life stories from the big Indian fat wedding industry. So that is quite a commendable effort that she has actually turned into and manifested into reality. Now a little bit about Megha. She's been into wedding photography from past 10 years and has covered more than 900 weddings. She was the first female Indian photographer who actually galloped into this industry and has won awards and accolades for her work for the past 10 years and been a part of the elitist and the most biggest Indian weddings which happened all across the globe. So ladies and gentlemen, first let me hear a big round of applause for Megha Israni. And I would like her to, now Megha Bhatia, right? I would like her to come up on stage. Yeah, we would like some more noise, people. We are all here for her. Yeah. Okay, now to unveil the book, we have a very glamorous, beautiful, and a very melodious person amongst us today. Now let me just give a little brief about who she is. She is a perfect melange of music and performance.
For me, so thank you so much. Talking a little bit about my book, which is The Jitters Behind the Glitters. It's an endeavor, and firstly, it's a dedication to my father. It was his idea. It was his brainchild. I think, you know, being in the film industry for very long. I think when I used to come back and tell him stories of what I saw at weddings, he used to always say that, you know, start journaling it down and, you know, start writing it down. And I think when COVID hit us, there was no other option for me. We used to keep fighting. And within those fights, he's like, if you stop fighting with me, you can start writing. So when I used to say, how will we cope up? There are no weddings, there's nothing happening. So he said, chill, just start writing. And I think that's when I started to write. That's when the journey began. And that's when the thoughts started to flow down until I hit a roadblock. But the most beautiful roadblock, which was Yash Bhatia. I fell in love and I said, okay, now I don't feel like writing anymore. But it's been 2 years that it has taken for the book to see its daylight. These are 9 real stories of 9 brides of mine through the last 10 years that I have captured. It talks about dowry taken and given. It talks about marriages still today in India happen depending on the market value of the bride. Unfortunately, we yet exist in times where if today girls talk about no dowry, so why alimony? There's a very nice chapter on that as well. It talks about all that goes behind the scenes of the big fat Indian wedding, being in front of the camera and being behind the scenes also. I've learned so much where I've had brides come up to me and say, hey, how can you get our weddings go viral? And I used to be like, really? Like, is that the reason you're getting married? And I thought that's normal. And I think every bride comes with an aspiration of something on the gram, seeing something on Instagram, and they feel like that's what they want. But I've typically broken myths down, typically spoken reality. It's girls till today don't know the meaning between the difference between a wedding, which is a 3-day or a 1-day or a 5 days, and marriage, which is a lifetime and forever. When I started to pen down, people said, hey, you're not married, you don't know what goes into. The first 1 year is the most difficult 1 year. You'll have to adjust, you'll have to compromise, you might have to give up on your work. And I used to listen from 1 year and I used to be like, is that reality? Until I got married and nothing changed in my life except that I wanted to change my surname and my address. People said living with mother-in-laws was living with terrors, but I also changed that notion where I think I have a zero fictional relationship with her. So I think it's also about how you want your life to be. And the book typically talks about those aspects of, you know, not having preconceived notions, wanting to let go with the flow, not wanting your wedding to be perfect, but the marriage to be more beautiful. I've had brides who walk down aisles and are shouting their guts out because the lights are not right or the floral decor hasn't been done right. And I was like, enjoy the process, embrace the imperfections, embrace what's happening, and it's okay. It's okay not to have a perfect wedding. It's okay to, you know, not wear the perfect bridal lehenga also, but it's so important. I've had a bride in 2015 and I love interviewing brides. And I asked her, what are you most looking forward to? And she said, I can't wait to wear my Sabya lehenga. And in my head, I went like, wow, Sabya lehenga was the top priority. But getting married or moving into a new house was just not the priority, or the fairas didn't hold that much priority as much as a bride wanted to be dressed a certain way and wanted to feel a certain way. So I think my book talks on those real aspects of weddings. I hope even if I land up saving 2 marriages, I think my book has done its job. Even if I land up changing 2 fathers' mindsets, saying that it's okay not to ask for dowry, and how dowry has transformed with saying that I want a singer and I want a destination or I want a certain car. These are demands which are put across. So dowry forms have changed, but dowry yet exists. So for people who think, oh, dowry is just a cash exchange, no, it's no more a cash exchange. It's an exchange of a lot of more pressure, where suddenly you'll hear someone saying कि मुझे 10 किलो मिठाई चाहिए मेरे बारातियों में बांटनी है. That's also pressure. It is a last minute pressure, but it is a pressure, and that is also dowry. So here I am wanting to give some light, wanting to throw some information on what goes really, what really happens behind the scenes. And yeah, thank you so much, Neeti. When Neeti and I spoke on the phone and she said, why do you want me to launch the book? And I'm a storyteller, so I'm going to tell you all a story. And with her permission, I was allowed to say the story. To the world, Neeti Mohan's wedding looked like the most beautiful wedding. It looked like a dream where a girl walked down the aisle, and she did have a dream wedding. But the reality of it was that this girl was crying. Her father was fighting death at that point in time on her wedding day, which till today no one really knows about. I've interviewed her for 40 minutes and I asked her, how does it feel to get Nihar? Are you okay to do an interview? She said, whatever you say. I have never come across a girl who said, I will do whatever it takes. Her in-laws were ready to cancel the wedding. Her in-laws were standing there and saying, it's okay, we will push the wedding. The guest will eat and go back. This girl, knowing that the father is in ICU, was fighting life and death at that point in time, walked down the aisle, has had a smile, put a strong front. But I know a part of her heart was crying that day. A part of hers was not even alive for that particular day. As much as every daughter has a wish that the father sees her wedding. So to me, when I look at marriages, she's one such marriage which, and I also interviewed her that, you got married so late in life, and I was not in love at that time, or I didn't have Yash at that point. She said, Megha, when it got to happen, it happens. And you just got to wait for the right person. And I think 4 years now, 4 years down, I found the right one. 4 years down, she's a happy mom, a balanced mom, not a crazy mom. She lives life to the fullest, and that's the reason why I thought there's no one better and no one more apt to launch my book, someone who carries marriage on her sleeve, someone who keeps her family first, and someone who also makes Instagram look really, really swanky and really, really like she's living the best life. But I think that striking the right balance is where I feel that is what Neeti to me is. So thank you so much, Neeti, for letting, for just within one call, she said, I just need to juggle something and I'm doing this. Like, she didn't even have to blink an eye. So thank you so much, and I want you to be here on stage right now. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you like to go ahead and say? मेरा मन तो कुछ बोलने का. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, but give a big round of applause for Neeti here, please. And Neeti, would you like to go ahead and say a few words?
A very good evening, everyone. I am so proud of Megha because firstly, I did not know anyone who captures weddings, who is such a great storyteller like she is. She makes two people come together and makes the biggest film of their life for them, which they keep on repeating for generations and generations. So firstly, I'm happy that both of us, as friends, as women, have been part of each other's milestones. And and I think I just, when I see her, I see someone who is so grounded, someone who knows what she's doing, who is so full of value system, because she has seen all the jitters and glitters, but here she stands knowing what the right thing to do is, and that's what she wants to educate all the girls about. There are so many girls who feel lost, who feel like, no, it's all about getting the best lehenga. Well, I think marriage is so much more than that, and I remember us having chats so many times over phone calls when I found my soulmate, and she was at that wedding where I found Nihar. And she has captured that moment where we are just dancing, looking at each other. Oh, ye koi ladka hai aur main. And from there to capturing my wedding, and then seeing what all I have gone through. But I think what, as women, we want to do is bring that value system wherever we go. At work, when we are at home, when we are at our daughters, we are daughter-in-laws, we are mothers. So I feel that is so important, that whatever you do, there's a message that you want to give out. And you want to just make this life more and more beautiful, and just with more value system. And that's what I see when I see Megha, that there's so much wisdom in this girl, and I'm so happy for you. Today I'm celebrating yet another milestone of yours. You're launching a book, and this book will be with everyone. So it makes me really, really proud. And we are all here. Can we have a big round of applause for this talented friend of mine? Thank you.
So without further ado, may I request both of you to please come here and veil the cover for the book, please. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for them, please.
Are you all ready?
She's very proud of it, and because there are such nice stories. Can I request both of you ladies to be here? You know, we just have a little conversation with all the people and you too. What at that time? What made you take the decision that you took and got married at the same time and battle all those things? What was the emotion that was overlaying at that time in your mind?
It was something, it was the best and the worst day of my life, I would say. But what my in-laws that time, the way they supported me, and they said that it's totally up to you. You want to cancel it today, let's do it some other day. Let's just all of us have a good meal and pray for your father. We're absolutely fine, please. And I was so touched by that, and my mother and me, we are like, no. Tomorrow, when after a few days when my father will be fine. Firstly, I was very sure he'll be fine, and then I'm like, okay, once he wakes up from the trauma that his body is right now, he would be very sad to know that I didn't get married. So we did the same thing. We made singers sing and everything, and celebrated that thing with him.
That is so beautiful, and it takes really a real amount of courage, people, to actually decide at that point of time where exactly to tilt the pen to. Okay, now just another thing I would like to ask you. You've been a star performer in numerous weddings all across the globe, right? So what is one thing which makes you in awe of the weddings, and which is one thing which actually makes you feel that I want to just run from here?
The one thing that makes me believe in weddings and marriages is two people coming together and two families becoming one. And one thing that makes me run away is when there is no soul.
Are there many
only
things?
About, no, I think, okay, bad food makes me run away.
That was a very diplomatic answer, right? You saved your soul on that. Okay, one more thing. What is one memory that you carry, from your wedding, apart from this, that actually made you stand next to Nihar and think that, that as far as this gentleman is there in my life, I think the life is going to be beautiful?
Well, as I was walking down the aisle, I was holding on to my tears that मैं बाद में एक साथ रोऊंगी, अभी नहीं रोऊंगी, मेरा makeup खराब हो जाएगा. And but as in when I walked towards Nihar and I saw him crying, is where I was like, this is also worth it. He was crying and I was not, and I was like, this man has my heart forever.
See, men do cry, people.
I
Okay.
think this was this time when men crying was not a trending thing at all. 4 years back, like seeing a guy cry, I think in 10 years of my career, I'd also never seen a guy cry. And I think Nihar stands out to be the first one. After that, it's become a trend that, it's like natural to cry, and the reels go viral. So I think it's become a very natural trend. But 4 years back, it was pretty an unusual one.
I asked him, why are you crying? I said, listen, you were going through so much and still you came for me. I'm like, yeah, ab tum bachoge nahi.
Okay, Megha, I would like to ask, did Yash cry on your wedding too?
No, Yash didn't. Because
Start crying from the next day, okay. Great. No? He's still laughing?
Yeah.
Okay. I see the smile, it's a very pretty smile, right? I know what Megha fell for, right? Okay. One more thing, you said that, when you were introducing all the thoughts from the wedding industry, you say that people or the brides come to you and they say, okay, can you make my video viral, or can you make me a viral bride? I've never heard of this term like called viral bride. You're actually putting a name of a disease, with the best word in the world, So how do you react to such conversations, and what is running in back of your mind which actually compelled you to write these 9, shaking stories that you've written?
So honestly, even I was not exposed thanks to the social media world that we all live in, where suddenly one person's wedding was a virtual wedding, right? So you started to get the words called virtual wedding, where people started seeing weddings on Instagram, and it's okay not to even attend the wedding. So I think when brides come to us with aspirations saying that I want a video to be very trending, I wanted to hit some lakhs of views, it kind of takes I kind of feel sad, because the purpose of you getting married is wanting to showcase a certain wedding which is a CR's wedding, or which is in lakhs, right? So your aspiration is to kind of make a beautiful wedding so that it attracts a certain audience wanting to watch your video. So I think the whole source and the whole soul of the wedding is lost in weddings like that, where they have an aspiration. If it goes viral, it's a very organic product. When Neeti didn't even want to put her wedding video out, I had to literally fight it out with her. I said, please put it out, put it out for me, if not for anyone else. Yeah, so that's what so we literally had to fight it out, and I said, I want to, I want to put it out. She was not even okay to put anything out, except for a picture out saying that I'm married. She didn't have an aspiration to put anything of that sort out, but it was me who compelled her and said, let's put this out. She'd made a song for her bridal entry. And right now, I have at least 100 brides in the last, 4 years who must have used the same song for their bridal entry. And then they come to me and say, oh, we want a song like that, or we want a video like that. And I think the aspiration is very high, and Instagram makes you have such high aspirations. It makes you want to do all of that. So I'm not a very big fan of viral weddings. Yes, if the organic product happens to be a viral wedding, great. If people like what you've put out and it goes viral, great. But you can't be getting married with the purpose of saying that I want a viral wedding.
Very true. Has it happened sometimes that you're shooting the couple's, pre-wedding shoot, and they actually are having a fight and then they're smiling before the camera?
Most common thing. I remember Love and Me were doing a pre-wedding years back, and that marriage, and that guy is a very close friend of mine, Varun Makhija, wherever he is. He was fighting with his ex-fiance, and we were crazy. Love and Me were looking like, what's happening? Will they even make it to marriage? But when they're in front of the camera, it is amazing to see how a bride can smile, and how everything just happens naturally for the camera. There's a story in my book which talks about it raining, and an Eiffel Tower that the family had created for the wedding. They'd created a whole Paris street. And in November in Karjat, it starts raining, and the minute she steps out of her vanity van, she was crying, howling in the van with us and with her makeup artist. The minute she stepped out, she saw the photographer. She smiled like nothing really happened. She's gone, stood in front of the Eiffel Tower, clicked a picture. On the gram, the wedding looked like the most beautiful wedding. But she and the family, and we know what really went behind that, because there were a lot of tears, there was a lot of pain. In November, you wouldn't expect a 5 CR set coming down, So I think it's a lot of emotions which also go on, you know, a back, like a back burner.
Very true. One more thing I would like to ask. Out of all the 9 stories that you have written, which was the most tough to write or most compelling to write for you?
I think till today I'm very emotional about the dowry taken and given. That's one topic which I don't stand for. I used to make fun with my father saying, when I get married, I will take, you should get compensated by the boy because you're taking away a girl, right?
So Yash, how much did you?
So I used to always tell my father that we will demand from the boy side, why should we give? So I came with that thought process that my father and my mother were giving away their prized possession. I said, kamao beti hai, jari hai, aur aapko uske liye bhi paise chahiye. So I kind of don't agree to that thought process. And even if I can spread this message through my book of dowry, as much as I think asking is a crime, even giving is a bigger crime. So I think for people who you know, give out of force and out of thinking ki beti ki shaadi nahi hogi, I think that thought process got to change. The minute that thought process changes, that my daughter will find her way out without giving dowry, I think that's when people will stop asking for it. But up until then, people will not stop asking for it.
I also want to add to this, by the way, Megha, we have 4 daughters. तो मेरे फादर को सब यही बोलते थे, आपको तो बहुत मुश्किल होने वाली है आपकी बेटियों की शादी कराने में, 4 बार डाउरी देनी पड़ेगी. एंड I really feel proud that my father never, you know, gave up to that pressure. And he's like, नहीं, ये अपनी किस्मत लेके आई हैं और ये अपनी उड़ान खुद भरेंगी. तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि today, wherever we are, it's because of our fathers. You know, if you didn't support us, uncle and my father and all the fathers here, we would be not anywhere, you know, because mothers का तो unconditional support होता ही है. It's the father who stands up for the daughter is when things change. And I'm so proud, uncle. Thank you for giving her wings. Thank you for making her, you know, do such amazing things and making her write this book also. Because I know for sure, so many girls कितनी बोल ही नहीं पाती कि उनको ये जितने भी 9 to 10 चैप्टर्स जो मेघा ने लिखे हैं वो सब बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट इश्यूज़ हैं, बट उनको कोई एड्रेस ही नहीं करता है. सिर्फ लहंगे के बारे में बात होती है, डाउरी के बारे में कितना बड़ा सेट होगा और मेन्यू होगा उसके बारे में बात होती है. बट व्हाट इज़ मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट इज़ दैट आपकी लाइफ आगे हैप्पी होगी कि नहीं, आप मैरिज में खुश रहोगे कि नहीं. आई थिंक दैट इज़ वे मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट. और वो कैसे हैप्पी रखना है वो कोई नहीं सिखाता है, वो तो अपने आप हो जाएगा. अगर महंगी शादी हो गई तो सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा. यू नो, इन लॉज इम्प्रेस हो जाएंगी, लड़की उन्होंने बहुत खर्चा किया है. आई डोंट थिंक दैट इज teaching anybody the right thing, you know. So we all have to come together and make it a celebration. Of course, weddings, Indian weddings तो specially बहुत amazing celebration है, but उनमें ये छोटी-छोटी चीज़ें हैं ना, ये हम सबको मिलके बदलनी है. And I'm so happy that आपने ये सारे points और ये chapters जो लिखे हैं, these are fantastic.
Great. Last question, Megha. So you started writing and then you said you know, went into a roadblock and you met the love of your life. After meeting him and being married, did the perception of your writing change for the book?
Yes, my perception did change because I started to write a little differently. I started to write, I think I was a more happier person. So I think I was writing the darker side of weddings and I was writing the sadder parts of wedding. But I think Yash came into my life where I just, like my brother used to say, can you stop smiling? Nikki, my best friend, used to say, can you stop smiling? Like you're just smiling too much. So I think I was full of love. I was full of life, and I think that has also resonated, where the book just doesn't talk about the darker side, but also talks about second chances. We all come with past baggages and how we can, you know, put our past baggages behind. So I think my book also took across to saying that preconceived notions are a myth. You know, you all come into marriage with preconceived notions, and I think we also could break into those preconceived notions. That you can get married with no baggages, you can just freely walk into. So I think that perspective changed only when I got into it. I couldn't feel it because I was not married, so I didn't know what it was to leave home. I didn't know what it was to, you know, change surnames. I didn't know what it was to change cities for that matter. When I was looking at boys, I used to say I'll get married from Andheri to Bandra. That was my thought process. And today I'm in Bangalore and I'm also embracing that. So yeah, so I had a radar of Andheri to Bandra ka koi bhi ladka hoga, I'll get married. But outside that, I can't. But today I'm in Bangalore. Yeah, Lokhandwala to Bandra. So yeah, so today I'm in Bangalore and I'm embracing new changes and I'm very happy. Like last night someone asked me, my sister-in-law asked me, so when are you coming back? Bangalore had floods. I said never. You know, just the floods doesn't make me come back.
Great. Penning down such true, real essences of the big Indian fat wedding industry, and I hope that it makes up to the bestsellers on all platforms that are there. I think a bigger round of applause, right? We are all here for her. Yeah, give me some noise, people, and thank you so much, Neeti, for coming here and making it possible. I would request father of Megha, Mr. Raj Israni, to please come up here and give a little token of love from us to Neeti. He's the gentleman who gave the wings, ladies and gentlemen. You need to give him a bigger round of applause. Yes. Uncle, can we have... Okay, in the meanwhile, Uncle, आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे? For all, because you nudged her a lot to pen all these stories. What was running in your mind कि आपको लगता था कि इस अंदर से एक बहुत बड़ा लेखक छुपा हुआ है कहीं पे?
लेखक के अलावा सिंगर भी छुपा हुआ है।
वाह, hidden talents.
When she was a child, I had shifted her school from a regular school to Suresh Watkar's institute where they used to teach music. But she didn't pursue it. Then she became, that is, she was the actress, she wanted to become singer. Then she got into this business of capturing the weddings, which I used to do much earlier in my life. But now she is captured in a much better way, and I'm proud of her. And I'm happy she accepted the idea of writing. And let me announce to the audience right now, there will be a next book coming next year.
Wow. So I think all the publishing houses which are there, you can bet your money on Megha because एक साल में एक किताब आएगी.
Part 2, it will be their name has already been christened. Hopefully she follows it up. Thank you very much everybody who had come all the way. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
What for video?
Thank you everybody. Thank you everybody.
Participating and arising as a second runner-up in Indian Idol 1. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to call upon the newly wedded couple. And Disha has worked in many Indian television series, but she's mainly known for the lead role on Star Plus for Pyar Ka Dard Hai Meetha. Yes, I know, 13 months to be very precise, brother, right?
कुछ हुआ है क्या घर पे?
क्या मेरे को? हाँ, लेकिन उन्होंने बोला था I totally want an unglamorous anchor because तो मैं if you seeing any style in me, I'm sorry for that. Then she specifically told me, I said she doesn't want anything which is glittery on myself. So I wore the poorest shade and the darkest color and I've come here. But you guys are looking pretty bright, right? So please, can you have a seat? I have just a couple of things to ask both of you. First of all, you know, your wedding was during the pandemic, right? Post-pandemic, just getting out of it. But your wedding was, I think, the reels from your wedding were just on the social media from all across. You know, everyone, I think, people have seen the live footage of your wedding from minute to minute. So what was going through in your mind when you were actually getting wedded? Whether you were tensed about, you know, the people or the trolls who were saying so many things, or
Neeti ma'am, today you are here as Jitters behind the glitters. So what do you want to say about that? You are here to support Megha ma'am. So what do you want to say about that?
I'm here today to launch Megha Israni Bhatia's book. The book is amazing. She's one of the top wedding film photographers, and she makes such amazing wedding films. And today she's launched her book, and I'm so proud of her. The Jitters behind the glitters, and I feel so proud of her because she's the one who captured my wedding, and she's seen so many milestones in my life. And today, Megha, come here. That's Megha Bhatia, everybody. She's the author. She's the first time author called The Jitters Behind the Glitters. Everybody go and read it. All the girls especially, those who are looking at getting married, what all goes behind a wedding and what is more important than just the jitters and glitters. Please find that in this book because it's important. You are getting married. It's not just about the wedding day. It's so much more than that. So I feel very proud that you're the only one, Megha, who has put together a book for the younger girls who are really aspiring to get married. And I think every girl has a big dream of getting married someday. And क्या होगा उस दिन हमें वो बस excitement रहती है but उसकी preparation इतनी नहीं होती है sometimes, you know.
But I don't know what you're getting into.
Yeah, but you have put everything together because last 10 years से आपने इतनी weddings capture की हैं. You've seen the best and the worst. What all can happen in a wedding and the way you put together, these important pointers for every girl, for every family, for every parent, for every groom to read. I think it is phenomenal and I'm so impressed, so happy that you've done this.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming here, and I just want everyone to go out and read the book, and that's all. That's all. Thank
Everybody, buy your copy now. The Jitters Behind the Glitters by Megha.
Thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I'm looking forward for the world to experience everything that goes behind the scenes of a wedding. शादी सिर्फ 2 दिन की नहीं होती है या 1 दिन की नहीं होती है, वो एक लाइफ टाइम के लिए होती है. एंड आई थिंक दैट इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. हमें कितना हमारे देश में अभी भी डाउरी ली जाती है और दी जाती है. In our country, weddings are celebrated in like 7 days, 5 days, 4 days. But what I really feel important is कि marriages बहुत जल्दी टूट जाती है. The reason behind marriages is breaking is because there's not a lot of value system. So I think my urge to every girl out there, every bride out there, every family out there, that please look at the core reason. आज 2 लोग साथ में आते हैं for the purpose of getting married. For living together, for having a companionship, and these are 9 real stories of 9 real brides of mine. मैंने कोई भी ख्याली पुलाव में ये बनाया नहीं है. ये एक real कहानियाँ हैं जो मैंने कोविड टाइम्स में जब हम घर में बैठे थे, we had nothing else to do, so that's the time when I actually penned it down. And it took me 2 years to bring this book to you all, but I can't wait for everybody to go out and read the book and enjoy this copy.
Also आपने कहा कि wedding और marriage वो दोनों बहुत अलग-अलग चीज़ें
So
हैं.
basically आजकल के टाइम में लोग बोलते हैं कि I'm getting married and I'm and there's a marriage and there's a wedding. There's a huge difference between those 2 words. Marriage means a lifetime commitment, living together, sleeping together, enjoying every milestone together. Wedding is just those 2 and 3 days of the celebration. Don't confuse the two saying कि यार मुझे शादी करनी है for the 3 days. Today bride wants to get married because they want to wear the best lehengas, they want to have the best makeup, they want to feel a certain way, they want to dance a certain way. But I think a book is far beyond that. So I think focus on the marriage. There's a chapter called Zoom in Marriage, Zoom Out Weddings.
I have one question. You have one chapter, Instagram versus reality. What does it mean?
So Instagram versus reality is a chapter where I have spoken about जो आप Instagram पे देखते हो वो सच्चाई नहीं है. आज जो एक पीछे जो आज बोलते हो जो पर्दे के पीछे क्या क्या होता है, क्या ड्रामा होता है, कितने प्रॉब्लम्स होते हैं आज 2 फैमिलीज़ के जुड़ने से भी. there's a lot of problems that happen. But आपको दिखता है Instagram पे यार ये लोग इतने खुश हैं, ये लोग इतने happy है. But maybe that's not the reality. Reality is very very different. That family could be going through a lot of problems. Marriage today, the husband wife are fighting within their rooms, but today they come out and they're posing like nothing really happened. And it's trying to break myths into that. So the whole idea is to break into that कि focus on the reality. Instagram पे जो आपको दिखाना है वो बहुत अलग है और जो दिखता है वो शायद सच नहीं होगा.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I hope book becomes a success and people also get the insight of exactly what exactly happens behind these big weddings. Because हमने अभी तक almost we have seen it from the viewer side. So this book will give you the insight actually what exactly happens.
So what is your opinion of that? मतलब आपको क्या लगता है कि दारू सिस्टम अच्छा है कि खराब है?
नहीं बिल्कुल गलत है. ये तो मतलब it should be actually already वो government ने तो इलीगल किया है ना, वी शुड नॉट बी अलाउड.
अभी भी लोग कर रहे हैं, मतलब अभी चालू है डाउरी सिस्टम, इसके ऊपर आता है.
इट्स रियली सैड एक्चुअली कि आज के टाइम पे भी लोग इट्स लाइक इट्स नॉट आई मीन कि वो तो ऑलमोस्ट सऊदी वाली बात होगी ना. तो आई थिंक वो जो लोग ऐसा करते हैं इट्स क्वाइट सिक. दे शुड नॉट बी आई मीन लाइक अलाउड तो वैसे भी है नहीं, लोगों को वैसे ही अपनी तरफ से बंद करना चाहिए. दिस इज नॉट राइट.
So what are your expectations from this book, if as a personal point of view?
So as what she explained, I have not read the book yet. So what she explained that she's telling you the real reason to get married. It's not only about the glitter what you see outside. It's about exactly the real reason, because you find somebody, you love somebody, and then you want to spend your whole life with the person. It's not only about those ceremonial days actually.
आपके लाइफ में भी जिटर्स हुआ है कभी?
बहुत बार होता है, रोज होता है.
So when it comes to the name of the book, how it makes you feel like?
As I mean, like it's like as you should not judge the book by the cover.
name.
So that way, like what you see, like it's shining, it's not always gold. So I think that's the message I get from that.
Thank you so
Thanks a
much.
lot. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Great. And thank you so much for coming here today and being part of Megha's journey for the Jitters Behind the Glitters. Can I have Megha here, please? And a big round of applause for Sonakshi and Akriti, please. Thank you so much for being here.
I didn't know I was supposed to talk, but I do want to tell everybody, 6 साल पहले मेरी शादी थी और जब बात पक्की हुई थी, डेट्स, वेन्यूज, इस कमरे में 2 ऐसे लोग हैं जिन्हें मैंने सबसे पहले फ़ोन किया था. एक तो वो जो हाथ खड़ा कर रहा है, गुंजन, because everybody kind of knew. I think 3-4 महीना पहले I started putting pictures on Instagram, etc. So it was not like a top secret. But and she was the second person I called. I said, you know why I'm calling you? I'd like you to please capture my wedding. But to my luck, she was already working that day. बहुत ही heavy साया था उन दिनों में, so she couldn't capture my wedding. But maybe we do something on the 10th anniversary, and then I'm not leaving you.
Congratulations, Megha. Wish you all the best.
And can I have love to be on the stage? Come on. Give a big round of applause. One of the most radiant smiles in the whole of banquet here. Thank you so much, Akriti, and thank you so much, Sonakshi, for being here. Megha, would you like to say a few words before we wrap up?
Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I'll let everybody get up from their seats. Have a good evening. There's coffee, tea outside. Grab a copy, and please do have a read of it. Even if you're married, if you're single, if you're finding love, just grab a copy. and enjoy this read. And thank you so much for being there on one of my biggest days. I think after my wedding, this has been my milestone. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The copies are outside. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here and being part of Megha's journey. And on behalf of Megha and all of us, I thank you all for being here. Thank you so much. Have a great evening ahead.
Please sign the copy.
I am here to support Megha. I am here to support love. I am here to support Uncle, Auntie and Yash because they are not just my family friends, they are my family. So any happiness or whatever, I have to be there. And it's a very, very proud moment, not just for the family, for all of us. This little girl who is a bundle of talent. She has so many feathers in her cap. I am very happily surprised, and she's become such a beautifully matured woman. It is so wonderful. So, writing something from someone who's been in this wedding industry since so many years, it is wonderful. And so I wish her all the very best. I hope, and I want everyone to read this. Yeah, this is from the horse's mouth directly. And the best part is she started writing this before she got married. And then after she finished it after she got married. So there's both the sides of being a single girl to a married woman, and from the industry, from the wedding industry. It's going to be a great inside read. Yeah? Thank you. All the best.
अरे कहाँ गए लेखक, बुक के लेखक, लेखिका, लेखक एंड लेखिका। वाह वाह राम जी। Why your hands so cold?
I don't know, you are warm.
I'm at room temperature.
ठंडे हाथ हो रहे हैं, पता नहीं क्यों।
You are hot ना, इसलिए तुम एकदम। अरे भाई लेखिका आ रही है कि हम खुद ही बोलना शुरू करें? चीकू जा रहे हैं? भाई ऐसे कैसे जा सकते हो आप? बहुत अच्छे लग रहे हैं आप दोनों। क्या बात कर रही हो, तो मुझे पता ही नहीं था। कहाँ है मेघा? खैर पूछिए, लेट्स स्टार्ट। जी
मेगा,
ए वो आएंगी तो बोलना बहुत हार्ड बहुत हार्ड बहुत हार्ड। आने दो कहाँ है वो? ऑटोग्राफ नंबर नहीं दे रही है रे, शादीशुदा है वो।
नंबर ले रही है।
बहुत हार्ड बहुत हार्ड बहुत हार्ड बहुत हार्ड।
Come to the center. Yes.
So, Rahul and Trisha, you are here to support Megha ma'am for a book launch, great book launch. So, what do you want to say about that?
I was shocked when I got to know she's writing a book because she's doing so well in her profession in general with her photography, and now she's become an author. I think it's so amazing, Megha. Another feather in your hat. Yes.
हम क्या ही कहेंगे यार, अब वेरी हैप्पी कि हमारी बेस्ट फ्रेंड ने एक बहुत ही बढ़िया बुक लिखी है जिसका नाम है द जिटर्स बिहाइंड द ग्लिटर्स। बेसिकली शादी जब एक होती है तो उसके पीछे क्या सच्चाई होती है, क्या क्या चीज़ें होती हैं, उसने लिखा हुआ है। एंड मैंने पढ़ी हुई बुक, मैं चाहता हूँ आप सब लोग भी पढ़ो। इट्स वन ऑफ द मोस्ट अमेजिंग एंड रियल बुक्स दैट यू कैन एवर रीड अबाउट वेडिंग्स। एंड शी इज़ बीन अ ग्रेट फ्रेंड एंड एज दिशा सेड वो बहुत अच्छा ज़िंदगी में वैसे ही कर रही थी। सो आई थिंक ये भी शील रॉक इट,
She'll ace it.
Thank you so much. Thank
When
you.
is the part 2 coming?
Another 1 year for sure.
बट थोड़ा और कुछ बताइए बुक के बारे में।
Yes.
So the book talks about people like them. It has a very nice story on what goes across behind the scenes of the wedding. हमें जो Instagram पे दिखता है उससे सच्चाई बहुत अलग होती है. So I think the book is a great read for all aspiring brides, for a lot of families out there. Go out, read the book, enjoy. These are 9 real stories. कोई भी ख्याली पुलाव नहीं है. ये सब सच्चाई है जो हम देखते हैं बट सिर्फ उसके बारे में बात नहीं करते हैं. So have a great read and yeah, thank you so much.
थैंक यू।
Classy यार.
आप थोड़ा हिंदी में भी बता दीजिए।
मैंने हिंदी में ही बात की
नहीं,
थी.
आपने एंड हिंदी में किया।
Megha ma'am, like आपकी book की collaborators यहाँ पे आ गए तो आपको कैसा लगा?
आई एम वेरी हैप्पी. मैंने ये डेट जब मेरी जो डेट थी लॉन्च की, मैंने पहले राहुल जी से पूछा था
राहुल जी,
कि
oh my God.
कि वो अवेलेबल है. सो आई थिंक आई वाज वेरी श्योर दैट ही इज बीन अ वेरी इंस्ट्रूमेंटल पर्सन इन माय पर्सनल लाइफ. We've known each other for
Yeah, I
10
play a
years.
lot of instruments. मैं गिटार बजाता हूँ, मैं पियानो बजाता हूँ।
Yeah, so he's very important, and I think ever since he got married to Disha, so Disha has become very important part, and I was very clear I wanted them to be there. So I'm very happy. मैं बहुत खुश हूँ कि मेरे दोस्त बहुत अच्छे दोस्त
अनमोल रतन आए हैं
और मुझे सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं. Amazon पे अवेलेबल है ये book.
Yes guys, this is the most important thing. Please ये बुक खरीदिए Amazon पे जाके, because अगर आप खरीदेंगे तो इनको सेकंड पार्ट लिखने का मौका मिलेगा। Thank you. Have a good day. गणपति बाप्पा मोरया। आ गया हूँ। थोड़ा देश थोड़ा और दे दो। शूज भी दिखाओगे पूरे। थैंक यू।
I think it's a great initiative. I actually asked her how did she venture into writing, because I've always seen her behind the camera curating these weddings. But I think the lockdown did the shift of her career into an entrepreneur and now a writer. And I think she's done a great job because I just love the cover. It's very quirky and nice.
आपकी लाइफ
considering I'm married for like almost 15 years. But I think the book is very different because I consciously asked her what the book is about. She said it looks all about shadi and the glitter, but there's a lot of seriousness also, and there's a lot of drama which goes behind in the book. I don't think I've had that drama, but yeah, I've had the glitters and the jitters. Thank you, thanks. Well, I'm very proud of Megha, and I've been one of Megha's brides, so it feels great to be here at a book launch. She's written some really interesting insights about weddings and, you know, life after wedding, which is the actual marriage. So I'm very excited to read the book, and I believe I have my own little article there. So I'm looking forward to reading it myself.
That Megha, apart from doing what she already does so fabulously, is also stepping into a whole new world and sharing her incredible, very valuable experiences that she's shared, and she's penning it down for people who are married to understand what they could have done and can do further, and the ones who are stepping into a new life, getting married. So I think this is like a very cool crash course of what to do, what not to do, and what is the best way of going about things. Thank you.
I think it's very interesting because I've known her for a while, and the fact that she's written a book about what happens behind the Indian wedding scene, I think is it should do very well with audiences across the country. Okay, yeah. I'd like to wish her all the best, and this is the book. It's called Jitters Behind the Glitters. So pick it up, you'll love it. This is my copy that I'm taking now. Alright, thank you guys.
I want to say that I've seen Megha from the time when she started Istani Films. तो उस दिन से लेकर आज तक यहाँ पे पहुँच गई है, और मैं अभी किसी को बता रहा था कि पिछले 2 महीने में मेरे 2 इतने करीबी दोस्त राइटर्स बन गए, और मैं इंस्टाग्राम पे रील बना रहा हूँ यार. What is happening? But it's such a great book. I've read snippets of the book. I'm so proud of Megha यार. What she's achieved is phenomenal because वो हिंदुस्तान की #1 cinematographer हैं wedding filming में. वो तो बनी गई हैं, but with her first book she's also kind of put a stamp कि हाँ यार मैं राइटर भी बहुत अच्छी हूँ. यार हमेशा होता है because I do a lot of live shows. I am acting most of the time. So what is happening is कि जब आप कभी भी floor पे जाते हैं तो there are moments where you're unsure of a lot of things. So there are jitters. I'm sure आपके भी होते होंगे यार. जब आप सुबह उठते होंगे ऐसा थोड़ा था कि कोई भी event capture करने निकल पड़ते होंगे, तो jitters सबके में होते हैं. I am human, so I also get jitters at times यार. Thank you everybody. Thank you very much. Cheers.
think it's very, very smart, and it's also great that, because I know for a fact that she does around 100 weddings a year. So yeah, I wish her all the best, and I'm going to definitely read this book and then get on a call with her and tell her what all I liked.